Hey guys, welcome to the Dave Darin Show. I've got the great band, the Swansons, on the call. How are you guys doing? Good?
Doing
Great.
great.
How you doing?
Good. And I got to clap about this because you guys came to this gig prepared, you tuned up, and sound check. Everything was rocking. I love it. I love that attitude.
Well, thank you, Dave. Appreciate it,
Cool.
man.
So we got Joe here, we got Angie, and you guys have other members of the band, but we're going to do something acoustically unplugged tonight to soothe my savage beast. Right?
That's right.
Right. I got to tell you, have you been following me recently, like my explosions and ranting and raves?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Yes,
have you thought
indeed.
about that? Did you think Dave needs to do some drugs and settle down a bit, or what have you been thinking? Shut the fuck up?
No, dig the boots in, man. You know what I mean? I mean, tough it out
Yeah,
and
yeah,
be passionate like you are.
yeah,
I've been doing this a long time, so I know there's a lot of disappointment in all areas of this industry, but you got a good thing going.
Oh, okay, cool. So, I do have to say this. I've decided to change the show from the Dave Darin Music Show to the Dave Darin Magic Show because what happens, I have bands come on the show and then they fucking disappear on me.
Yeah.
Right? So
Right.
I'm thinking about changing the name, right? So,
Yeah.
so
Why not?
yeah, so tell me what's going on with you guys. You're here tonight. It's going to be a great set, good acoustic song. What kind of guitar is that? Is that
It's a Fender.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see the letters on here. Cool.
Yeah, I bought it because it was red,
Yeah.
basically.
You know,
You know.
I bought my first red guitar last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I have like a hummingbird, and that's sort of a reddish tint to it, right? The
Yeah,
hummingbirds.
yeah.
So they're kind of, but I bought my first guitar so I could travel on the airplane. So when I go to some of the venues where the bands haven't supported me and I kick their ass in the parking lot in the back alley, I
Yeah.
can travel to those venues with my travel guitar, right? So tell me what's going on with you guys. You've been opening for some good acts like Missing Persons and all that, right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We opened for Missing Persons, for Berlin, for the Motels,
Well,
for the Dan Band.
Yeah, the Dan
damn.
Band was really fun.
All those bands I love. And since I looked at your Facebook, I saw Missing Persons. I was thinking, holy shit, what song did I remember the most? And it was that song called Words. Remember that one?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. And that's got a great video because the girl, the lead vocalist, what's her name? Do you happen to know?
Yeah,
Uh,
her name is Dale.
Dale. You happen to know her last name?
Fazio.
Dale Bazio.
Oh, great. Now I can stalk her. That's great because I've always had this fantasy. Because she wore that, she had like her stomach exposed with the nice boobs, or I don't even care.
Right.
I don't even care if they're pushed up or not. So we got to cut the interview short because after tonight I got to go masturbate for a good hour after the interview here. Okay. So how is it? How's your act doing? You're in LA most of the time. Do you travel out of LA? Do you go to Vegas? Do you travel the country? What are you doing with your act?
We're in Southern California
Yes,
mostly now.
yeah, mostly Southern California. We go as far as San Diego, and we also, well, being that we're from Chicago, we've gone back to Illinois and done acoustic sets, just him and I, and then we've done Nashville one time, but we're going to go back there very soon this year.
Oh, that's very cool. I love Nashville. I was just out there
Yeah,
last year. I went to Sun Studios, great place out. Or is that in Memphis? I think so.
Sun Studios.
Yeah,
I'm not really certain.
I think that's in Memphis. That's got a big history behind it. You should check that out when you're in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So tell me about some of the, like I saw you were recording some new music. I saw a post that you got some new stuff going on. How long does it take you guys to write music? Do you just separate from performing, go into the studio, focus on writing music, or do you mix that in with the performances as well? How do you come up with that?
Well, I typically write every day.
Oh, deal. Wow.
So then if I don't have something every week that we go into the studio written, if we don't have something pre-planned, then we'll write in the studio just on the spot, and we write in all kinds of different ways when we get in there. We might write to a beat or to a guitar riff or something. But most of the time I'm writing. I'm just writing nonstop.
Well, now, how does that work? Because people are pretty moody. Obviously, you realize I'm so fucking moody. It's incredible. But how do you keep that flow every day? Because the moods switch every day, for me at least. How do you do that?
Well, yeah. Mine sometimes every 5 minutes,
Yeah.
but I just keep going. I just keep going. One thing is, it's almost a necessity for me. It's an obsession of sorts. It's my therapist and all kinds of other things. So something that I generally need to do is almost like exercise. So even if I'm not accomplishing anything or writing a song or I'm writing something out, on paper and getting something accomplished. And if I get lucky, then I come across something to bring in the studio for Angie and I to sing.
Okay, and it's right. It's Joe and Angie, the band's the sponsors. You have other guys in the band too, so let's shout those guys out if you don't mind. Is that cool?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We have Daniel Alexander, Daniel the Duke Alexander on keyboards. He's been playing keyboards his entire life, and he's an amazing, amazing player. Who else we got, Angie?
We have Super Dave on bass, who's been pretty much taken under your wing, kind of, and played with you for many years in your band, previous this band, and now he's been on with the Swans pretty much since day one. And then our drummer Danny Alfaro, so it's DDD, Daniel, Dave, and Danny is our bandmates. They're
you guys
the
are on
three
the Dave
Ds.
Darin show, right? Dave Darin, all these D's, right?
Yeah, and then him and I.
So pretty cool. How did you guys meet? I probably asked you that on the last show, but fuck it, we'll ask again. How did you guys meet?
How did we meet?
Yeah,
We
how did you
met
guys meet?
from, we just knew each other. We were a friendship that grew into a romantic
Wow.
love.
That's kind of the opposite for me. Usually I start off with the romantic, the lust, and then the relationship falls apart and then things go worse after that.
Yeah.
Right? So that's pretty cool. Did you guys immediately click with the writing styles, or was that something that you had to work into it and get each other's grooves, or how
He
easy was
brought
that?
me into this. I wouldn't
Oh.
probably be doing this if it wasn't for him.
How about that?
That's for sure.
It's taken us time. It's taken us.
5 years.
We're finishing our third album. We're actually working on a fourth album, and it's taken that long for us to sort of find our identity. And where we found ourselves actually is in Nashville, and we're doing a project in Nashville that we're very, very excited about. We signed a publishing deal with the producer a month ago, and
We're working
gonna
on
be
a
having-
country album.
Yeah, we're working on a country album. So I've been writing in the country vein, Swanson style. So it's unique, and we're just really, really hopeful that this thing takes off for us.
Wow. You know, country music is a music that has survived a lot of ups and downs, but now it seems is country music at a high level at the moment. It seems like everyone appreciates country music awards. It seems like that's one of the better genres.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
We're looking forward to busting through those doors and saying, hello, we're the Swansons.
We've been fortunate in so many ways that with the Nashville thing, with the producer, his name's Bill Watson, and he has surrounded himself with musicians in his studio that are just absolutely the best of the best. They played on hundreds of hit country records, and now they're playing on our record, which is just an amazing honor, and we're just very, very blessed that that's happening for us. The results are already in. I mean, they've already tracked 3 songs, and they are spectacular, just amazing, amazing musicians.
Wow. Now, was it easy for you both to get involved in this idea of country music, or was like Joe or Angie, which one of you were more into it, and then you brought the other one in?
We're both basically halfway there, I would say.
Okay.
The material lent itself to country, so it was sort of there, about maybe 30-40% of our stuff would be able to easily cross over. And I think this producer, we sent him a bunch of tracks, and he identified a few songs that he found very tasteful for country music, and that's where we began this journey with him. And since we signed a publishing deal, I've been writing more uniquely in that vein and loving doing that. So we have a new sound that I'm very, very, very happy with. Very happy with.
Do you think you're going to play one of those songs live here in the studio, or one of the country type of flavored songs, or what?
Yeah, we're not going to. Well, actually, we could do. We're going to do Where Did Everybody Go? So yeah, we'll do one of the
Where
tracks.
Did Everybody Go? Yes, but it's still our version of it. We haven't done the country version yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll do that.
Yeah, whatever you feel like warming up with. Sometimes I know bands, when they get on stage, they have their first song that's a warm-up song. When you get on stage, by the way, do you have a warm-up song to bring out your emotions for that particular venue, or do you just do you prepare one song like that, a warm-up type of song?
This song that we're going to play for you has been our opening song for our last several shows.
Okay.
But normally it depends on the venue, who we're playing with. what we're trying to accomplish with that first song. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do.
So this particular song sort of brings the audience in, engages the audience, but it's not over the top. It doesn't, set it up for it. We might open up with a faster paced song on occasion because we need to do that to get the audience to sort of kick them in the balls, so to speak, real quick with the first song. Other audiences, we don't want to normally, do that. We want to kind of bring them slower. So, we've sort of found a good
We've learned our lesson, yeah. We used to come out and punch people in the face with these really fast, upbeat songs, for the first song. It's just like, wow, we kind of learned that. Let's break into a
segue. The driving me nuts.
Oh, the
go.
dog. Here comes the dog. Here we go.
Swanson Bus. We're back.
I was digging Angie saying punch him in the face, but I like Joe's better, kick him in the balls. Now, by the way, if Caitlyn Jenner was in the first row of your audience, would you kick her in the balls? Okay, so let's start off with the track. Here we go.
All right. What are we doing?
We're going to do Where Did Everybody Go?
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
On 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody's looking for. All about to see the sunrise. Everybody go. Everybody's feeling alright. Everybody's feeling wonderful. 20 minutes after all night. Everybody go. Where did everybody go? Where did everybody go? Everybody said I love you. Everybody have a good time. 7:30 in the morning, where did everybody go? Everybody in the spotlight. Everybody got a story told. I'm standing on the front lawn. Everybody go. Where did everybody go? Where did everybody go? Where did everybody go? Where did everybody go? Here we go, yeah. To the moon, yeah. To the moon, yeah. To the moon, come on, baby, come on. To the moon, yeah. To the moon, everybody got an answer. Doesn't care much for anyone. Man, I really want to ramble where did everybody go? Ain't nobody on the corner door. Ain't nobody on the plastic door line. Gotta leave something for you. Where did everybody go now? Where did everybody go? Where did everybody go now? Where did everybody go? Where did everybody go now? Where did everybody go now? Where did everybody go? Where did everybody go, Dave?
Awesome, guys. Tremendous. You guys look like you love playing together, by the way. It shows. It really
does.
does.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah,
we do.
And it helps out a relationship to be musically coupled, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, my, yes.
Yeah. My wife plays piano. I play the guitar. So together, it's plus sex on the piano is pretty good as long as you put like a towel on the top and, right? And you don't want the wet spot because it kind of drips into the harp and can warp it. Right? Just like my warped fucking sense of humor. But let me ask you this question. In your whole careers in music, have you, Joe, taken a break from music and decided, you know what, I need some time to myself to recharge the batteries, to get my groove back? Have you ever had that need?
No.
No, really?
The only time since I was a teenager that I ever had time away from music.
Yeah.
Well, it was just I had a writer's block that was very severe, and I think I was just trying too hard, and it took me the better part of 2 years to write another song. I thought I would never write another song again. I thought I had written my last song. I was so paranoid that the songs ran out, and I thought that I'd never be able to write another song again. Somebody, a friend of mine that used to play music with me, had come into town and he asked me what was the latest thing that I had written, and I said nothing. And he was very, very surprised to hear that. And his response sort of pushed me into writing my first solo album, and I literally wrote it in a month. I think 13 tracks, and it began there, and I never stopped after that.
Wow. Now, what do you think brought you out of the? Well, you said that you sat down and you wrote that album in 1 month. Was it? What was the reason for the block? I don't get that.
The block was just so much pressure I put on myself. You know, to not write the same song over again.
Did you ever?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had written so many songs. I didn't want to repeat a song. So my brain was saying, "Oh, you've already done that. You've already done that. You've already done that. So what can you do now that you haven't already done?"
Yeah,
you know, and it caused this block that it was very frustrating.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that because there's some artists like I remember. I'm from Philadelphia. I think Chubby Checkers. You remember him?
Yes.
Chubby Checkers had the twist. Let's twist again. They're all pretty similar. So I can appreciate the fact that you want to be original from song to song to song. Is there ever any worry about writing that song that everyone loves, and then in your head, this is like my masterpiece, that you have hit that pinnacle, and now you're worried and you compare every song to that pinnacle song that you wrote? Is that ever a fear that you've written that masterpiece?
No. You know, the funny thing is, Dave, is that every time we do something, and this has been with my whole musical career, I'm so surprised when I write a song. I'm literally, I don't understand how it even happens. So I'm like excited like a kid, like oh my goodness, we just gave birth to this song. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. I mean, it's better than anything I've ever heard, you know. And then next week there's another song. I forgot that we even recorded that song. You know what I mean? Huh. So it's just this constant.
Sometimes I tell him to slow down because here's the deal. Because he's the songwriter, so he can spit out an idea. Let's just say in a second, and then in one day it's formed. The whole idea, that he can lay the whole idea down in one day very easily and build it up and get it as far as he can within the time frame that we have. Now, when we leave, he computes that, listens to it, adds to it, and finish it. Now, the rest of the song, it could take a couple more sessions till it's done, but he's still creating. So when he runs out of that one song, he's working on that one song. Let's say we take him home, then he has to take a break from it because he's had too much of it. Then something new. He comes up with something new. Then he's got something new. Okay, then he goes down. It's like, hold on. We got to finish that other really great one that you just wrote. Like, slow down, Charlie. We need to get, this other one finished. And it's just he just keeps coming up with great ideas. I mean, it's just fantastic.
Now, are these songs just, they come to your head? Do they come at various points of the day where obviously you're walking around with like a recording device just ready to capture that moment?
Sometimes
he does have a recording device on his phone, so it's not something that he's walking down the street. Oh, and I very rarely say that. It's more like him strumming along. Oh,
yeah, normally with an instrument, a guitar in my hand or a piano.
Or piano, yeah.
But I have a guitar in my hand most of the time, So a lot of songs I start writing when we're giving our son a bath in the bathroom there.
He's taking a bath and he's strumming along, and when he hears something cool, then he elaborates on it, and then that's where it kind of gets formed.
Yep. Do you need to have an instrument there to write music, or is it just?
No, I've done it in all kinds of different ways. I could have just a drum beat or absolutely nothing because I could hear it in my head anyway.
Yeah, interesting. Right. Do you play other instruments as well as the guitar? I think I asked you this before.
Yes, I do.
What do
you play?
Piano
and drums, harmonica.
Oh, harmonica as well. Did you teach Angie the harmonica, by the way?
Yes, I still am, actually. She's getting very good.
What other instruments does Angie play?
She's going to start playing guitar a little bit, and she plays a little bit of piano. I'm actually trying to teach Angie anything that she wants to learn that I can offer her to teach her.
Very cool, very cool. Are you excited about that instrumentation as well as that's what's your most preferred instrument? You've got all these selections from Joe here. What's your favorite instrument?
For me, I love the harmonica.
Do you really?
A lot.
Wow.
I do. I love the piano, but it's going to take a lot of lessons and coaching for that for me because I was never trained as a child or anything, so it's all new to me. I'm a beginner.
Yeah, I would imagine is piano.
Harmonica is easy for me to pick up and toot around with on my own.
Yeah, I've never even attempted the harmonica, so I have no idea how easy it is.
It's fun. It's so fun. Super fun.
Now that's a big blues instrument, the harmonica, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So any blues instrument, any blues songs coming out of you guys in the future to amplify the harmonicas that Angie's playing?
Yeah, we got some stuff going on, blues stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I got them right beside to start. But
Cool. If you guys want to try to jam to something bluesy and see how Angie works out with that?
You want to jam a little bit?
You want to jam something out?
How about we'll just do country this? Want to do country this?
We do that, or we can do a little bit of just playing around.
No.
Country this, and I don't.
We get the 8 harmonics down. What do you want to do?
A or G? Just tell me what you want.
I was just playing that one.
That's just what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Please stop. Is this the right one?
Let's see.
Nice to see you. As far as I can tell, just one more margarita, then we'll both know pretty well. Why don't you hit the dance floor? Hear your favorite song, and I'll be right there behind you, baby. Dance, sing along. I'll show you once I steal a kiss. Let's see if you can demonstrate this.
You badass, funky gentleman, will they just show up here? Set that to the bar so I can buy it for the beer. I can get your name and number, they can call you on the phone, or we could take it to their closing place, and then I'll take you home. I'll show you once and I steal a kiss. Let's see if you can country this.
Yeah.
Picking up my guitar, heading out of town, heading toward my future, and I hope you'll be around.
Get out on the highway, you can sit in next to me, because last night we both made plans to Nashville, Tennessee.
if you can country this. I'll tell you once and I see you like this. Let's see if you can country this. I'll tell you once I see you like this. Let's see if you can country this.
Something like that.
Angie was trying to get the last note in there, though. Come on, Angie.
I
Come on, I'll mix it up right. Go ahead.
You know.
Very cool song. Love it, guys. Awesome. So, what's going on recently coming up? What are you doing? I know you play in LA. You play in Hollywood.
Yes.
I think you were at Hard Rock. You won that award in Hard Rock too, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Two. One Joe Finley for Outstanding Performer and one for the Swanson. So that was.
We're playing the Rose Theater in Pasadena February 4th, and that is an awesome venue.
Yeah,
Awesome
Pasadena,
venue.
California. There's a nice little theater called the Rose, and they have great food. It's all ages, great entertainment, and like I said, we're going to be there on Saturday, February 4th, and also we're going to be with a band called DSB, An American Journey. So they're a nice big Journey
Tribute band.
band. So
Okay. What do you think
we'll be
about
playing with them.
What do you think about tribute bands? A lot of people, I used to play in a disco band a long time ago, and we did all cover stuff, of course, because it was at the disco ages. But now a lot of people think that, it's kind of cheating to make your livelihood out of being in a cover band when there's no originality to that. What do you
Yeah, a
think
lot of
about
people are
that?
doing that.
What do you think about that?
They're
I
paying.
have friends that do it right now.
Yeah, it's
And
paying
that
their
are-
bills. So
They're very successful with it.
Yeah,
And-
they are, clearly.
The thing is this, Dave, I've always thought to myself that, me personally, that's not for me. I don't think that I could ever do that. On the other hand, what I have seen with some really, really close friends of mine, and with we're taking their original music into this, playing the cover stuff and making a living that way, is that they're still passionate about it. They still have the fire burning. Even though it's not their own stuff, they're still on stage and they're still feeling that feeling and exerting that energy and living that life, So it's not really any different, at least from what I see and the way that they're doing it,
Yep. Now I know that some of the feedback I get from some of the original bands is that they kind of like the tribute bands that focus on one tribute, like a Journey band or a Kiss band. But when they delve into all the different ones, it feels like they haven't focused their creativity, their energies, and their costumes, and their into that one tribute band. So they appreciate tribute bands more than they do the bands that do multiple covers. So that's the
Right.
perspective I get. I don't know if it's
That's what I'm referring to.
Okay.
One of the bands is you heard of the Spasmatics?
Yep, I have.
One of my guitar players I played with for a long time, he sings and played with the Spasmatics, one of the cover bands in Chicago, and they travel all over the place.
Uh-huh.
But so he's traveling all the time, year round, and with that band they have another band,
Windbreakers.
the Windbreakers, and they do easy listening stuff, like all the cool stuff, really, really good music. So he gets to play all of his favorite songs and travel all over and get paid for it. So, but on the other hand, back to the tribute thing, the reason why we're really excited about the show coming up is the tribute bands they're selling places out.
Yeah, they have a fan base. So, well, for us, it works out. But some of the ones like how you're saying that they mix around. It's more for like an entertainment of like a party at a club. People that are already going to be there, so it's like good entertainment. But people are going to go see these tribute bands, just like they would go see the artists.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the separation between just
if they're good, like at that award show, Dave. Those bands that played there, they were awesome.
Oh yeah,
They were really good.
Was great, and yeah.
The Led Zeppelin tribute, they were very, very good.
Yep.
So
have you guys, either one of you, or I'll ask this question to both of you, have there been a moment in your lives that changed your musical composition? Was there? Can you think of one thing that you did that really refocused you, and can you think of one thing that threw you off course?
During a performance, or do you mean just overall?
Just in general. Like I'll give you a little hint. Okay, so one of the things that I kind of miss that I should have done at a younger age is I used to play in a jazz band when I went to college. And I was sitting there playing the guitar like you were. We were doing a couple jazz pieces. We did A Foggy Day. Remember that song? A lot of people have done it. Sinatra's done it, A Foggy Day in London Town. You know
Yeah,
that song?
yeah.
Okay, so I thought, you know what? I thought I should pick up the mic and I should just start singing to this song. Just do my Sinatra, right? But I didn't do it. I was shy. Believe it or not, Dave Darin had a shy moment. I didn't do it. And if I think back on it, I wonder if that would have changed the direction of my life. I can't be sure of it. You can't go back and redo it, but I'm thinking that there was a moment that I didn't take an opportunity that was right in my head to do it, but I held back. Anything like that, or on the reverse, anything that you did, which you took advantage of, and it brought you to another direction, and you think, man, that's a moment I can't forget, because look at the direction, look where I am now.
The reverse of that, for me, a friend of mine asked me to join their band, and I did, and started writing songs with the guys in the band. And we got a show at Gazzari's. You familiar with that club back in the day?
Yep, sure.
It was the biggest, the most well-known club at that time. And I really didn't know. I had heard of the name. But anyways, we got a show there. And we had a dressing room, which was phenomenal. Just to have a dressing room was unbelievable. We were a garage band, so when they introduced us, we walked down a flight of stairs onto this big stage with the lights and everything, and I could see a whole bunch of people there, and it was like frozen. Everything was slow motion, almost froze for a minute, and I knew for absolute certain that is where I was supposed to be. That I knew for the rest of my life that is what I was going to do. So that was confirmation for me. That was a very big moment that I never wanted to be away from that. Once I had that moment, I never wanted to be away from it again. I knew that was every bit of me.
Wow, that's powerful. Angie, how about you?
I don't know. I guess it just was more sooner than him because I wasn't doing music my whole life.
Right.
I kind of just stepped into it as I met him, going to the studio with him, and then he was like, sing on this part, and then I was like, okay. And then so it was more just for fun, like, okay, I'm gonna entertain this project that we're working on. I like it. I always wanted to do something like this, but never had those doors open until he opened it and was like, you can do it. Come on, go with me. I was like, okay. So then we just did it from there, and then just, I guess it kind of, after like 1 year of performing live, and then like I feel like I grew just through watching tapes of myself and just developing, and I don't know, I've changed, and I feel like like he said, everything else could be crap in my life, but then the minute I get on stage, that's where I want to be. I'm so happy. I love entertaining the crowd. And we could be mad at each other, and the second we start singing, everything goes away. It's just happiness.
Not that ever happens, Dave. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just saying is not every day I'm in the cheeriest mood ever. Something could be affecting me that has nothing to do with the show that we're about to perform. It's bothering me, but it just goes away once we step on stage and our intro starts and we play that first song. Within 30 seconds, my stomach's like just yes, and then it's just no worries from there, and I can just do it forever.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Have you guys ever been like on local TV shows? Because I know a lot of bands in LA, they get lucky enough to be on TV once in a while for like a morning show. Is that something that you guys have done?
It's something we're interested in
We're
doing.
working on it, yeah.
We've managed our own act here so far. We've got this boat quite a ways up down the river, so to speak, or up there.
Just me and
so we finally have people sort of coming to us, and we're making enough noise out there to where we're gaining attention. Angie's become quite the star. Her confidence is growing, and she's just beaming on stage. I'll tell you something that's a turning point for me in seeing her, seeing fans be crazy about her and needing to be near her and needing to have a photo with her, needing her to autograph something, it just shows the level I can't put it another way. She's such a star on stage, and she's projecting herself with such confidence that she's winning people's hearts over, and she's fronting the band when it used to be me carrying the load, and I wrote certain parts for her, but I was sort of feeding her as she was learning, and now she's carrying songs and carrying herself on stage in a way where I can back off and sort of just kind of, get into my instrument and watch her.
Uh-huh.
So she's really, I don't know what I can't pinpoint the show,
Me neither.
but sometime in the last year.
Yeah, because we've been performing for 2.5 years, but I have to say the first year was just kind of like getting out there, learning the ropes a little bit, and then something happened for sure. Just definitely turned and just, I don't know, maybe it's just the word confidence, just building confidence over time, and then finally just going for it.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. How about another song, and then we'll wrap it up and make sure we point out how to catch you guys on.
What do we got for a song, Rich? What can you think
You want me
of?
to say this song?
Oh, yeah.
Can we do it acoustically?
Yeah, just don't be
Yeah,
crazy.
how do you like doing acoustics versus the electric plugged-in stuff?
I love acoustic.
Like it.
I prefer acoustic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love it. Let's see. This is a new song. You want to play it?
Yeah, let's try it.
You use the E-harmonic on this one?
Hey.
Let's see. That's the intro there. Okay. Let it.
I feel a little slow. It's Tuesday or Thursday, but that's 10 minutes ago. You said that you come home now, as soon as you got home. Now I don't even live there, and you don't even know. Say it slow, say it slow. Stay easy slow. Stay easy slow. It's 7:30 somewhere. I gotta hit the road. I thought about a bad thing. Now I can't let it go. It's suddenly confusing. Nobody's in control. There's nothing as tomorrow. Or I'm getting old. Say it slow. Say it slow. Say it slow. Say it slow. Figured out the meaning of something long ago, but now it doesn't matter. There's 5 times in a row. I don't have all the answers, but I've got a heart of gold. For some reason all that matters, I don't like doing what I'm told. Say it easy slow. Say it easy slow. Say it easy slow. Say it easy slow. Say it easy, say it easy. Say it easy, say it easy slow. Say it easy, say it easy. Say it easy, say it easy slow.
Woo! I got a question for you guys. I just thought of this. You said that you when you give your son the bath, you got the guitar in the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
By the way, that's a good way to humidify the guitar, right? A new guitar, you
Right.
got to keep it lubed up, right? So
That's
I'm
right.
curious about this. You got your son there, and how old is he right now?
4.
4. Okay, so he gets to be 7, 8. He starts really getting into music. He might be into music already at this point. And is he? Is he into
Yeah.
music? Okay. So now he gets to be 12, 13. He's thinking he's in his first garage band, right? And he's thinking, he goes to dad and mom and says, "This is my career. I want to be a musician." Do you tell him to have a backup goal, or do you tell him, forget the backup goal because you won't achieve unless you put your full effort in to music? What do you advise him?
That's a tough.
I advise him to put his whole heart into it, and I support him in it.
I would put the heart into that, but I would also make sure he has an education as far as books go.
Okay.
That's going to be going with it.
So no safety net. And the reason I ask that is because I think sometimes I resist doing radio because I've got my day gig is my safety net, which is the most financially awarding. But sometimes I think if I drop the safety net and just go into radio, maybe I could make it work. Maybe that's the mistake I'm making, which is why I asked you specifically for your son. Do you want him to really have that safety net, which maybe he'll focus on because it might be initially more financially rewarding than music would be? But is that something that would hold him back?
That's such a tough thing.
Yeah.
I guess it would be just case by case basis. I would have to make those decisions. It would just have to depend on how good he really is, and me and him ain't gonna lie to him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
That's the truth.
We're definitely not gonna be those parents that are gonna push. You gotta do that. It's either he's gotta want it or it's not there. You know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna be stage parents. You know what I mean? So it has to be him driving the
If
train.
he's gifted, you know, and
If
anything.
he's truly talented, then we will harness that craft for sure and
Yeah.
put everything we can into helping him achieve greatness if he's got it, which he's showing stuff right now. But he's only 4, so we're just letting him be a small child for now.
And Dave, I, like you, have had a very similar experience with music, and I've had mine. My plan B worked out very well for me, so I didn't need music for anything, you know. It's just my passion, but it certainly doesn't give you the same kind of drive,
Right.
as if you had no safety net. And I heard Steve Harvey on TV. He's got a book out called Jump, and he talk to any successful person. At some point, they've jumped. They said, "Fuck this! I'm out. I'm doing it." You know, I might be poor for a while. I might not be successful, but this is my heart. This is my passion. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not chasing the money anymore. I'm going for this, and then the other works out. You know.
Yeah, it's almost interesting because for those people that have one talent and they found the one thing that they do and they're almost not good at anything else. Almost those people are blessed,
Yes.
right? Because
Yeah.
they've got no ability to have a safety net, so they just go for it.
Right.
So Angie,
True story. Yeah.
yeah, let me ask Angie this because music is relatively newer to her. She's built up her confidence over the last year. Do you wish you had this confidence and this start in music at an earlier age?
Well, yeah, but I don't think of wish that at all because I was doing other things. So just because I wasn't doing music, I was when I was younger, I was a big star as far as athlete. So I was a big golfer in high school and for women's golf in the Midwest, and that was my stage. So I was just doing that, and then like. I don't know. I did have that as a little girl. I wanted to be on stage. I wanted to sing. I wanted to perform and stuff. Like I said, those doors were not there, and nobody was wiggling them to open them either. I'm not saying that I could have done it on my own, but like, he's a music man. So when you know what I mean? Like, my parents are just hardworking parents. They're not musicians. So I didn't have that around me. I think my dad, one time when I was a little girl, I said, I want to do that. I want to be on stage. And he was like, really? And he was like, talked about getting me an agent. And then like, we're from a small town in the Midwest. Like, it's kind of who you know. You kind of have to know somebody to call to, So we never pursued that at all with my parents. I just did school and then sports and then went through college. And when I was in college is when I discovered that I had a really big passion for TV entertainment, making movies, whether I'm in front of the screen or behind the screen, and radio and TV. I was a disc jockey. So my college career was mass communication as my degree, and video audio production. So I found a desire for that in college in Illinois. Once I graduated, I knew there wasn't really a job in Illinois that is anywhere I wanted to be unless I wanted to videotape weddings or DJ, and I wanted to be more in Hollywood. So I packed up my van or my truck and drove out here and started living out here. Now, I didn't know I was going to end up music. I'm so thankful for this, because before this, I was just doing production assistant work when I could or wherever I could. And that's that's a long way to go, being a PA, and doing that. And that could just take forever. And I didn't really have any mentor in Los Angeles when I moved here, kind of guy. I was just a small little girl from Midtown West who came here. So it took me 5 years till I got hooked up with him. And then once he was started telling me that he believed in me and he thinks that I have a good voice. It wasn't the first time that I heard it, but I was trusted him in his abilities of singing and playing the guitar. So something in my heart told me to go for it. So, and my family was against it. When I told them I was going to go do the music thing, I quit my job to go do this with him, and they were not happy, but they are now.
Yeah,
it
wow,
was
interesting
tough
story.
in the beginning because I made the decision to do this, and everyone was like, "What?"
Yeah, and it's interesting because I've had some really young bands on, like guys that are 16 years old, and I've asked them, I said, have you approached your parents with your desires to be the next big rock band? And some of them said that they're a little bit afraid to ask their parents. Some of them said that they have, and their parents have been okay with it, and they've been wanting to support them in this effort because I've almost asked them, I said, when you're 16, if you make a few errors, a few mistakes between 16 and 19, you could go back to college if you need to. You could be schooled different. So I've asked them if that's their desire, if they approach their parents. And some of them are afraid because they think that the resistance will be there. It's tough, right? It's really tough. So I got to ask you guys, how do people hook up with you guys for more music, following the band, making sure they know where you're playing? How do they do all that?
Well, our number one outlet is our website, which is www.theswansonsmusic.com. And there you can find all our sites, but we'll just tell you while we're here, what's our Facebook?
What is our Facebook?
The Swansons Music.
Right.
And same thing with our Instagram. It's The Swansons Music. So even if you forget all that and you just want to get on Google, you can Google The Swansons. But if you don't want all the TV dinner and brawl stuff to come up first, if you just add music, The Swansons Music will be the number one thing on the site, on the search.
I was never a fan of the Swanson dinners. Those little the TV dinners and all that stuff, they were no good. Although when you're a single bachelor and you've got no wife, but you have 3 or 4 girlfriends on the side, Swanson dinners then are okay, right?
Okay, right.
They taste pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Swanson dinners, the wine and the champagne, and of course the condoms, right? All that goes together when you're
romantic.
You're a romantic guy. You're a romantic guy.
That's right. Oh, you guys are really cool to be on the show. This is my 3rd YouTube, and it's tough to do. It's tough to do video compared to radio is easier. Yeah. But maybe I'll get my confidence like Angie's got, and maybe this will work out well, right?
You will, Dave. We wish you great luck, man.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much. And I'll tell you what, for the radio show, I'm going to mix in 3 more songs of your material. What would you recommend for the radio show? Do you have something off the top of your head, and I'll pull it off?
Yeah, getting ready.
We do want to get ready. I want to do Valentine because Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting ready, Valentine, and what else? There was another one.
Country This, or I'm not going anywhere. Any of those. I'm not going anywhere is a good closer.
Well, Okay, so I'll mix them into the radio show. And do you guys want to take it out with a final one live in the studio? If you want to, we can end it that way, or we can just end it with your.
Yeah, I think
We'll
we're
just
done.
end it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll just end it.
okay, so I'll just take the radio show and I'll add extra music to the radio show. How's that sound, guys?
Okay.
Thanks,
Cool.
Dave.
Okay, you guys are tremendous. Peace out, and thanks for coming from California to New York City with the radio show.
Thanks,
Thank
brother.
you. Thanks for having us.
I see you guys.
Peace. Have a good night.
You
Thanks.
too.